Hey Crafty fam, it's Alex Vanover and welcome back to my craft room. Today I'm going to show you how to make one of these adorable three-dimensional shadow boxes to fit into any of your Christmas decor. So let's get started and I'll show you what you need to make this project. To get started with your shadow box, first of course you need a shadow box, and the key to getting the right shadow box is that you need it to be back loading. So any of these large shadow boxes that are top loading only are not going to work for this project. So I just happen to have one of those laying around. Then you need some miniatures. I got these miniatures from Dollar Tree. So you can use any combination of those that you'd like. I also have this Christmas truck from Hobby Lobby, but I don't know if I'm going to use that. I just got it out just in case. And this is a bag of fake snow from Hobby Lobby. I know it's a little hard to see because it's white, but it's just a little bit more realistic looking than the Dollar Tree snow. But if you want to use just plain Dollar Tree snow, that will work as well. And then you need a couple of different pieces of paper. This white piece of paper matches the bottom of my shadow box, so that's what I'm going to be using that for. And then this is going to be for the background of the shadow box to make it look like it's kind of like an evening dusk. That's why I'm using a navy color. So you can mix this up as much as you want, but I'm just kind of making it really, really simple. So let's get started. So first I'm going to take the back off my shadow box so that I can get the measurements for the bottom. So the first thing that I'm going to do is put a piece of paper inside my shadow box and get a measurement for the bottom so that I can place all of my miniatures hot glued onto a piece of paper. So I'm going to use a pencil so I can erase it and a pair of scissors to measure that. So I'm just tipping my shadow box on its side so that I can put my paper as close to the inside as possible to figure out where I need to cut it, and then I'll make some adjustments. So I'm just marking the side with my pencil and then cutting in. So let's see if that's going to fit inside. So it's a little bit wide because it's curling up on the side, so let's cut in a little bit more. Just inside my pencil mark is where I'm going to cut next. And that looks about right. So then I'm going to measure my depth. So I'm going to stick my piece of paper in my shadow box and then just mark this inside ledge, which is as far as I can go inside the shadow box with a pencil. And then I'm going to cut along that pencil line. And I am basically the worst cutter in the history of ever. That's why I have a Cricut in the first place, so it's okay, you can make fun of me. So the way that it's fitting in there right now, as you can see, it's got a little bit of an edge. So I'm going to cut that part off, and then we're almost ready to get started. All right. So now that fits in there really well. So then I'm going to start gluing on my minis. And I need to make sure that my tree can fit inside my shadow box with the back on. So let's lay the back on top of it and make sure that it will close. Yep, so I'm going to have to only use the smaller tree, which is fine. And that will just barely fit in there. So I think I'm going to put that... Haven't quite decided whether I'm going to put that in the center or on the sides. And I am using a super small shadow box because that is something that I already had. So if you have a bigger shadow box and you want to do more minis, feel free to do that. So let's see. So I'm going to be doing a snowy scene. So I think some kids playing in the snow would make this really fun. So my next mini is going to be this little guy shoveling snow. So I'm going to put him right here. And so if this is the front of my shadow box, I'm trying to picture what it would look like from the front. So I might even turn them around and flip them so that I can see what the front perspective of the shadow box would look like. And then you won't be able to see the space at all because we're going to cover it with fake snow. So don't worry too much about that. I'm going to try to fit two more in over here because I want it to look fun and packed. So let's use a snowman. Let's try this little guy right here. So he looks like he's kind of carrying some wreaths. Maybe he's going to go decorate his house or something. I don't know. And I think that may be all the room that we have. I know you guys can't see a front perspective of that, but it's actually pretty packed, just like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue these in place with hot glue onto the piece of paper. Look how cute these kids are playing in the snow. Maybe I'll replace the little wreath holder guy with 2 kids playing in the snow because that looks fun. Oh no, I changed my mind. So I'm gonna put the 2 kids playing in the snow here, move the tree over, and then I'll put the snowman next to the kid shoveling the snow. Because that makes sense, right? Maybe he's shoveling the snow to build a snowman. All right, so I'm just gonna put a little bit of hot glue on the bottom of each little figure, not too much here. And stick them where I want them to go. I'm going to create a little bit of dimension in my project by kind of altering the placement of these. So if this is the front of the shadow box, we have some things in the front, some things in the back. That creates a little bit of dimension. I always think that's a good thing, especially when you're doing something 3D like this. And this is just something really cute that I just came up with. I thought would be kind of fun. I already had all these things in my craft room. I just looked at my shadow box and wondered what I could do with it, and I came up with this idea. So hopefully this turns out super cute and you guys can make one of these to put in your house. And there are so many other fun minis that you could use with this. You could totally do like red trucks if you're really into red trucks, or little penguins. You guys know penguins are like my favorite, so that would be really fun minis to put in one of these shadow boxes. Just a fun little way to decorate. I actually, at Dollar Tree, I bought some little churches and little post offices and stuff. I don't have a big enough shadow box to fit that, but originally I was really hoping I could make like a whole little city in this thing. All right, so just to double check that this fits, it looks really, really cute inside my shadow box. So the next thing I'm gonna do is lay some hot glue underneath where the white strip is going to go. And that's what's gonna hold my strip in place. I don't think it's gonna get a ton of movement or anything, but each year when it goes to be stored, it's gonna be moved a little bit. So I don't want my whole little scene to fall over. So I'm just gonna try doing like one line of hot glue so that there's not a ton there. And that way if I change my mind in the future, I can still go back and fix it or change it out. So then I'm just going to set my little scene and get the paper as flat as I can along this back edge. So that's what my beginning of my scene looks like. So the next step is to put some fake snow in there to cover up these little bottom like pieces that keep the minis upright. So we're just gonna add a little bit of fake snow. And this is not in the original packaging. I took it out of the original bag, but you can find this kind of like more powdery fake snow in the Christmas section at Hobby Lobby. And I really have no idea how much to add. So I'm just gonna pour a little bit in here, and then I may have to take my backing back off and test it. So we may get a little bit of extra snow shower here because I really don't know how much to add. This is what that powdery snow looks like up close. I really like the way that looks. I think it looks really cute, and I think it's gonna blend the bottoms of my minis really, really well. So we'll set that aside, and the next step is to get this piece of paper to be the same size as this background. So I'm just going to mark here and here the areas that I need to cut, so that I can cut around my background. I'm tracing it slightly larger than what I need, just so that when I cut inside the lines, it should be just right. But just like my other one, I can always trim it. I know you guys can't see my pencil lines very well, but that's what I'm gonna use to trim my paper. You could totally make this more fun, and you could add like snow to the background scene. There's all different kinds of ways that you could do this that would be really, really fun. I literally cannot cut a straight line to save my life, which is honestly why I bought a Cricut in the first place. I literally had extra cutting homework in kindergarten. Like, it's literally that bad. All right, so it looks like it's just a little bit big, so I'm gonna make a couple of trims here. All right, let's see how that looks. And I think that's pretty close. You're not gonna be able to see real well. All right, friends, so I'm just gonna make sure that my pencil lines are on the back of my paper. So that's gonna face the actual shadow box. And I'm not actually going to attach my navy paper to anything because there is this inner frame that is gonna catch the paper. So I'm not gonna be too worried about that. But then I'm gonna try to distribute my snow a little bit, and it looks like I may have had an avalanche and used a little too much snow. So we'll just have to figure it out as we go and see if I can get this all shaken out, or if I need to take some out, which I can do. All right, and I think that looks pretty good because I do want to cover up like the bottoms of the figure. So I want it to have a little bit of cushion on the bottom there, but I don't want it to cover up what they're doing. So let's put this background on and see how it looks, and we will make adjustments if we need to. I'll put my piece of paper in first, followed by my shadow box background. There we go. All right. And so there is my cute little snowy scene. I know it's a little bit of a funky angle for you guys. So it looks like I may need to take out a little bit of the snow because you can't exactly tell what my little shoveler is doing or what my little kids are doing. So let me take a little bit more out. Okay. Let's try it like that and see how much less snow looks. All right, y'all, and I think that looks pretty cute. My little shoveler here is really shoveling directly into real snow. You can see what all the little kids are doing. One kid really does look buried down there. So I think that that is perfect, and that is it. So if you wanted to make this more fancy, you could definitely put fairy lights around the outside of this box and kind of string the battery pack out the back and make it light up. You could put vinyl on, you could put like some vinyl silver stars on the outside of the glass and make it even more dimensional. And remember that you can always change the outside color of your shadow box if it doesn't match the decor that you already have. Crafty fam, I hope you enjoyed learning to make a three-dimensional shadow box. I cannot wait to see what you guys create with these. But remember, when you're choosing your materials, to use what you have around your craft room. So if you have a lantern or a mason jar instead of a shadow box, feel free to use that and fill it with a similar scene because it would all look amazing. And if you make one of these and you post it on social media, I would love to see it. So if you post it on Facebook or Instagram, make sure to tag me at DIY Alex Vanover so that I can see your amazing creations. Crafty fam, I hope you have an amazing and blessed Christmas season. If you haven't already, please make sure that you subscribe right here to DIY Alex Vanover, and I hope we can craft again soon.